Good morning, beloved. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever it is that you are watching the broadcast, hello, 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 hello. It is wonderful connecting with you, saying hi, hello, how do you do? What is happening? What is going on with you? Blessings, blessings, and more blessings are speaking to you. For those who will be live, yes, 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 let's do it. For those who will hashtag and replay it, I love it. For those who will be on and I don't know you on and I might not never know you on, I can appreciate that. And for those who will be used by Papa, oh, sorry, at some point down the road to encourage this girl. Let's make it do what it do. I don't know why that says March 9th. Anyway. Let's make it do what it do. Good morning. Hey, hey, hey. So we're still talking about this notion of taking a break. And we need to take breaks from all kinds of things. We really do. We need to take breaks from all kinds of things. Did I do something wrong? It might be different. We need to take breaks from all kinds of things, and sometimes we need to take breaks from relationships. It doesn't mean that they have to end. So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that the relationships have to end. But sometimes we just have to actually take breaks from different relationships. Um, Whether we're talking about friendships, your family members, marriages, sometimes, and I'm not talking about official separations and things like that. But if we're being honest, there are times when we get on each other's nerve. And I think there are situations that occur that are pretty difficult and perhaps toxic. I think there are challenges that happen that if we were truthful with ourselves and with our loved ones or our friends or whatever, and just say, you know what, I really just need a break. I need some time to gather myself, to center myself. You know, we don't have to blame anybody else for where we are. We can simply say that we really do need a break. We can simply make that, make that our choice. That it's time for us to take a break, right? That it's time for us to do that. And so I invite us to, right, to do that. I invite us to check in with ourselves and to see, do you need space? Do you need mental space? Do you need emotional space? Do you need distance? Do you just need time alone? Do you need time in a different scenery? Right? Do you need some space from what has been happening? Good morning. Good morning, Apostle. Good morning. Do you just need space from what's been happening? Because sometimes we just need space. Good morning, Ray Price. Thank you for your prayers. Sometimes we just need space. And, I don't think we've been given our permission to say, I need break from a relationship. Well, we've made that seem like it's a bad thing, that we might need some distance. Good morning, cousin. Good morning. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can just be your truth. Like, you know what, this is a bit much, right? And, other people can be offended. Other people can be, irritated or disappointed because they take it personally. Beloved, we ain't got to take it personally. We really don't have to. We can simply need a break because we need a break. It ain't got to be nothing personal at all, right? We just simply need a break. Ooh, don't fall, don't fall. And so when we think about it from that perspective, it's important that we give ourselves permission to take those breaks, right? To have those distance, because sometimes those breaks will be the very thing that will save the relationship, right? Sometimes those breaks will be what was needed for us to good morning, Tamika. Good morning, Tamika Bowles. So good to see you, sis. Sometimes those breaks will be the very thing that is necessary for us to get our inner peace back. And sometimes we could spend enough time with people that um that we stop appreciating them, right? Because it becomes common, right? It becomes very, very common. And sometimes distance helps us to get a clearer view, to remind us, right? And so just for lots of reasons we may need, right? There are lots of reasons that we may need to take a break, to take a relationship break. And I just want to really give ourselves permission to do that. If you need a relationship break, take it, beloved, right? Take it. If you need a relationship break, give it to yourself if that's what you need. Do you see? Because when we do that for ourselves, good morning, cousin. All is well. I love you. Hey, Crusader. Good morning. Good morning, GB. Um, when we do that for ourselves, then we can come back with a renewed vision, with a better attitude. We can come back with more energy when we give ourselves a break. Sometimes it's just too much. Sometimes we spend too much time together and we need a little distance. That doesn't have to be a bad thing, y'all. That does not have to be a bad thing. It really does not, right? And it could be anybody. It could be our kids. It could be our spouse. It could be our friends. It could be our neighbors. It could be our coworkers. It could be our schoolmates. I mean, it could be anybody. Good morning, Latosha. Good to see you, dear. Right? It could be your partners. I mean, it could be anybody. But what it is like we individually have to know what is necessary for us, for our wellness, for our wholeness, for our healing, for our sanity, right? Sometimes it's just too much. And so relationship breaks. I'm not talking about breakups, but I am talking about breaks. Now, but let me just talk a little bit about relationship breakup. Spending time with God, praying truly helps good people. Indeed it does. You are on point there. Indeed it does. So let me tell you about my philosophy about even relationship breakups, because sometimes relationships do end for that season, like they end for that season. And I really invite us to not have a problem, to not take it personally, to not be offended when relationships conclude, right? When they conclude, because they've served the purpose that they had for that season. So I invite us to not be bent out of shape because a relationship has concluded, beloved, right? And I actually invite you to celebrate. If it was a good relationship, It worked while it worked. It was beneficial while it was beneficial. So let's not like be bent out of shape that it's no longer what it was. It served its purpose and it was a blessing while it was. Let me tell you what I think maturity is. Like if at the end of a relationship, things went south, right? At the end, they went south. What humans will have a tendency to do is focus on what went south in the end, as opposed to all the other years that it went okay, that it worked, that it served you well. I don't think it serves us. Now we deal with what happens at the end and we honor it, we face it because we may need to deal with that. Like we may need to remember that in order to know how to proceed forward, moving forward. But beloved, it's not the totality of the relationship. And since it's not the totality of the relationship, I think we owe it to ourselves to give all the relationships equal footing, to give it equal footing. Look at how we can hurt one another. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's imperative to give all the relationships equal footing. And we feel better simply, first of all, what we focus on is where we get our energy, right? So we focus on, say, if there was one incident and that ended the relationship, right? And it may have just been time and it was one incident. Then if all we focus on is the one incident, when we had countless other incidences that were life-giving, that doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve you. It really does. And it doesn't honor the relationship that was. Do you see? So even though relationships conclude, it doesn't mean that it has to be this destructive end. Well, we're not friends anymore. And I'm just saying, like, let's watch our attitude, because it was a blessing while it was a blessing. Can you see that, beloved? It was a blessing while it was a blessing. So I honor the time that we were blessed to have those close, intimate relationships, because it was a blessing to my soul while it was. And there's ebb and flow in life. None of us stay the same. None of us stay in the same place. None of us continue, right? And so I'm not saying, good morning, Erica. Hey, honey bun. I'm not saying that relationships don't continue, because lots of them do, right? Lots of them do. I have lots and lots of long-standing relationships, and I'm very, very grateful for that. And I have many very, very new, fresh relationships, and I'm very, very grateful for that, and all the ones in between. Right. Honor the entire relationship. That will serve our soul so much better, beloved. It will serve your soul so much better. And it will help your heart, right? And it will help your heart as well. So that's what I invite us to. But it is important to know that if you need a break from the relationships that you have, whatever those relationships are, give yourself that break. Give yourself that break so that you can be better. You can be better in the relationship, right? Give yourself that break so that you can bring something fresh to the relationship. Give yourself that break so that we are not like going off on people in relationships. Give ourselves the break and just be honest with ourselves. We don't have to go around announcing, I need a break from you. You too much. Mm-mm. That's something else going on right there. We can simply honor what is our truth. That's all. We can honor our truth. And we can let people know. Recalibration. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we can just simply let people know that, I'm going to be away for a while. I'm taking a little bit of a break. I might not be available, or whatever it is, right? However you want to communicate. But I do invite you to make sure that your communication is one that honors. I do invite you to ensure that you have communication that is honorable, because it also doesn't benefit us to go around being nasty, you know, because we got something to work on. That's our stuff we need to work on. That don't necessarily have anything to do with them. Our capacity doesn't have anything really so much to do with other people. It's our capacity, because if you decided that you wanted to do something different with your capacity, guess what? You could. You could grow your capacity. You could increase your capacity. So we don't want to go. This is not about going around blaming other people. That's not what this is about. This is about knowing what you need. Don't let the devil win, right? Right? Knowing what you need and giving yourself what you need. That's what this is about, right? That's exactly what this is about. And so I invite you, beloved, I invite you to honor what it is that your soul needs. And when your soul needs a break, give your soul that break, right? When it needs a break, give your soul that break. And it don't have to be a big thing. Just give yourself the space, the time. Go refresh yourself. Go rejuvenate. Go spend time, right, with God. Go spend time in nature. Go spend time loving on yourself, pouring back into you. Nobody else is responsible for your wellness. That's your responsibility. Other people can come along and support us. Other people can be beneficial towards us. But beloved, if you're not doing it for you, then you know what? Then no one else's level of care will be sufficient. If you refuse to care for you, then their care is not going to be sufficient. It just won't be. And so I invite you to put you first. Put you first so that you have sufficient to care for others, right? When we pour into ourselves to the point of overflow, there's always some left for others, right? There's always an abundance for others, because caring for ourselves includes the care for others, but caring for ourselves uh, does not, it is not care of yourself when you care for others to the neglect of yourself. That's not care. That's self-abuse. Okay? All right, beloved, it's the top of the hour. I love you. I appreciate you. I value you. At the moment that Abba gave us our breath, me and you, we forfeited, we relinquished. You and I gave up the right to not be amazing. You and I just don't have the right to not be amazing, because we are. Anyway, have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now. Blessings back to you, Apostle.